The Denver Nuggets look cooked. As they drop their home opener by nearly 20 points to the Oklahoma City Thunder, fans have a bit of an intense reaction on Twitter. Is KCP leaving a super big deal? Are the Thunder just that much better? And are the Nuggets cooked? Well, the simple answer is yes and no. For Denver this offseason, they extend Aaron Gordon, they let KCP walk, they sign the likes of Dario Saric and Russell Westbrook. One harsh reality of these signings is that Russell Westbrook and Christian Braun cannot, or rather should not, exist on an NBA team together, as they are too alike and not for good reasons. Someone like Lonnie Walker, who for some reason is not on an NBA team, should be a part of this roster, as he would provide spacing and pace in transition. I also would have liked for them to target Gary Trent. Obviously, he has a new home in Milwaukee, but he would be a perfect Nikola Jokic teammate, because Nikola Jokic said it best himself following that loss. This team desperately struggles with shooting outside of Jamal and Michael Porter Jr., and with the loss of someone like KCP, the shooting definitely takes another hit. One of the best parts about Denver basketball in their earliest come-up days, their earliest winning days, even back when you go way back to when they had Will Barton, when they had Gary Harris, when Jokic was still just popping off, was the fact that the league was put on so much notice by Jokic, and all the attention was garnered towards stopping Jokic from scoring. This is before they kind of figured out he was the superstar passer, that Jokic was able to just back someone down, get that double team, and then the savvy passer that he was, he found a shooter and he locked him into an area. And that was Denver's bread and butter for such a long time. Jokic backing him down, Jokic kicking him out, 3-point, let's play some defense, let's do it all over again. With someone like Dario Saric, he can stretch the floor. I just don't know how many minutes we're going to see where both of these guys are on the floor together. For defensive purposes, A, and B, Aaron Gordon and Nikola Jokic have some of the best chemistries you'll ever see in the NBA. And when you're getting down the stretch in these big games, you don't not want to see these guys playing together, especially because Aaron has proved himself to be an absolute menace on defense the last couple of years. Now, all of this being said, do I think that means the Denver Nuggets are not contenders? No, not at all. I just think this means a big adjustment is coming. For this group, 2 years ago, you're an NBA champion. 1 year ago, you lost in 7 games to the new kids on the block, and now you get rid of someone who was not only in your championship lineup, but someone who was part of your starting 5 for the championship team. And now you're asking Christian Braun to step up, Julian Strawworth to step up, Peyton Watson, Justin Holiday as well to step up. And while you're asking these names to step up, the fact of the matter is you did not address your biggest issue in the offseason, which was shooting. You bring in someone like Russell Westbrook, and he's just having these spastic movements and poor decision makings, and he doesn't really move the needle for the Denver team. I do, sort of like the idea on paper of him coming off the bench with the second unit, but again, the second unit would need to be what? What would they need to be, guys? Loaded with shooters, and Denver just didn't do that this offseason. There's no reason we should be deciding who's going to play more between Christian Braun and Russell Westbrook, considering they're the same player, except Russell is way older, his body's gotten way diminished, and then he has lost what Christian Braun has found, and that's the ability for Christian to be successful with and impactful without the ball in your hand, without a jump shot. At this point in his career, I love Russ, but he is an inefficient turnover machine, where someone like Christian Braun is made with a young body who's diving on basketballs, blocking shots in transition, flexing on the enemies, just making these timely passes, hyping up the crowd, just being an excellent bench guy and an even better locker room guy. I don't fear that the Denver Nuggets will turn the season around. It's only 1 game in, and the first week of the NBA is all about over predictions and calling it like you see it. And if I'm calling it like I see it, I know that if Denver plays like they did last night for the next 10 to 20 games, the West is just so competitive that I have no idea how easy it's going to be for them to play catch up. Under head coach Mike Malone, I do think there will be some changes here in the near future, and I don't think Denver fans should panic because after all, you did just face the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, who got marginally better with the addition of Alex Caruso like we saw last night. And speaking of the Thunder, I'm going to speak about them and keep it pretty short. Obviously, it's hard to make any judgments on this team considering their first or second biggest fish that they caught in free agency in Isaiah Hartenstein is going to be out for, I think, like 2 or 3 more months. But if we're just talking about Caruso, he looked fantastic on this team. Giving the opposing guards hell between him and Lou Dort is just absolutely menacing. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander looks like he never left the basketball court once this offseason. I cannot explain to you guys how talented I think this man is. I think he's actually making his way into that top 3 conversation. Like when we talk about the best players in the entire world, the names that come to our head first are Jokic, Giannis, Luka. I think Shai is about to be entering that echelon if he's not already there. Chet Holmgren looked fantastic last night. I've never seen someone that skinny handle Nikola Jokic on the block that well. He was making it very difficult for him, making those back downs turn to turnovers by forcing him into uncomfortable passes. Because with Chet's timing paired with the Thunder's ability to read and fill those passing lanes, there was just so many rare Jokic turnovers, and we really barely see that. And then not only that, he was able to size up with Jokic vertically and get a couple blocks on the MVP. He was great on offense as well. He just struggled from downtown as he was 0 of 4, but I'm sure since he's getting down, he also looked great on offense. He was 0 for 4 from downtown, but he was getting it in the mid-range, put-back dunks in transition. The kid is just very special. I'm very excited to see where the Oklahoma City Thunder go this year. In my opinion, obviously basketball is such a big what-if, and we ask these stupid questions and these stupid what-ifs. But if Shea didn't foul P.J. Washington on that 3, which I always note he did take accountability for, I really do think they could have pulled that series out against Dallas, and who knows what happens against Boston. Were they too young? Were they not? I don't know. But all I know is that I'm excited for NBA basketball to be back. What do you guys think? What do you make of this video? Are the Nuggets cooked? Are the Thunder the favorites in the West? Let me know all your opinions and more in the comments down below. Appreciate how you support it. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.